So today we're going to dig into this really deep idea, the exile of the soul, and we're going to explore how this ancient concept connects to the very foundation of who we are, our belief system.
All right, let's just start with a question, and I want you to really think about this for a second. Have you ever felt just out of place in your own life? You know that feeling? A sense of disconnect, like you're not quite where you're supposed to be, even when everything on the outside looks totally fine.
Well, that feeling, it actually has a name in Jewish mystical tradition, Galut HaNefesh, which means the exile of the soul. It's all about this state of inner chaos that happens when the different parts of our soul, our very essence, are not where they belong. It's like a spiritual displacement.
There's this incredible insight from the sage Ramban who put it so perfectly. A person exists where their thoughts are. I mean, think about it. Imagine you're in a beautiful, quiet library, but your mind is just racing, totally consumed by worries about work. Are you really in the library? According to this idea, nope. You're in a state of exile from your own present moment.
Okay, so this isn't just some philosophical, abstract thing, right? This inner exile has real, tangible effects on our day-to-day lives.
So when your soul is in exile, what does that feel like? Well, it can show up as this deep sense of emptiness, of anxiety. Life might start to feel kind of meaningless, like you're just going through the motions. And it can even go deeper, leading to a loss of moral sensitivity and this profound disconnection from your essential purpose. It's almost like a light inside of you has been turned way, way down.
So, the big question is, how do we find our way back from this exile? How do we navigate this? Well, first, we need a map of our inner world, and that map is a really powerful model called the Pyramid of Conduct.
Think about it this way. Our actions, the things people actually see us do, that's just the tip of the iceberg. What we see on the surface is just a tiny fraction of this vast, complex inner world that's actually driving everything we do.
And here it is. This pyramid is basically a map of our human nature. It gives us a way to understand ourselves from the outside in, starting with what everyone can see and then digging all the way down to the hidden foundations.
So right there at the very top, you've got conduct. These are our actions, our behaviors. It's what we do, what we say. It's the part of us that's out there in the world.
But what's driving that conduct, right? Go one layer down and you find our emotions and our thoughts. These are the immediate engines. We feel something, we think something, and boom, we act.
And then, way down at the bottom, the very foundation of this whole thing, that's where we find our values, our principles, and most importantly, our beliefs. This is the invisible bedrock that holds everything else up. This is where the real power is.
Okay, so let's really zero in on that foundation, because this is where everything changes. This is where we find the true power of our beliefs.
So what are beliefs, really? Think of them as the operating system for your personality. They're the core that interprets your reality. They determine what you think is true, what you think is valuable, and what you think is right. And ultimately, they shape absolutely everything.
There's this incredible line that just nails it. Change your way of thinking, and so you will change your way of living. Now, this isn't just about changing your mind on a topic, it's about a fundamental shift in your whole perspective, a change in your core beliefs. This is what people often mean when they talk about a new birth, a total transformation from the inside out.
Or, hey, if you're a visual person, think of it like this. Our beliefs are like the invisible root system of a giant tree. That tree is our life, and the health of those roots, which you can't see, determines the health of the entire tree, the branches, the leaves, and the fruit that everyone can see.
Now, this is what's so cool about this pyramid, how change actually happens. It's not top-down. It's a chain reaction that starts in the very bottom and works its way up.
It all kicks off when one fundamental belief gets transformed. That change then redefines your principles and your values, and from these new values, completely different thoughts start to emerge. Those thoughts then generate new emotions. And finally, all of that cascades up and results in new conduct. It's an inside-out revolution.
So you see, real change, it's not just a mechanical fix, like flipping a switch on a behavior. It's the result of a full-on inner revolution. Just think of that example from Ephesians. Let the thief no longer steal, but rather let him labor so that he may have something to share. See, the thief doesn't just stop stealing. A core belief is shifted. Maybe from, the world is scarce and I have to take what's mine, to, I can create value and I have something to give. That one shift changes everything.
Okay, so how does all this tie back to where we started, with the exile of the soul?
Well, this whole mechanism of change, that is the path from exile back to a state of redemption, of wholeness.
And this is where it gets amazing. There's this hidden connection right inside the Hebrew language itself. The word for exile, galut, and the word for redemption, geula, actually share the exact same root, gilui, which means to reveal. Now that is not a coincidence. It's a mind-blowing insight.
Just think about what that means. It's so profound. The very act of recognizing our own inner exile, of seeing it, of admitting that we're not where we're supposed to be, that's the first step. That awareness is what reveals the path to redemption. The solution is literally hidden inside the problem.
And I want to leave you with one last, really hopeful thought from the sages. They taught that in every place where Israel was exiled, the Shekhinah, the divine presence, went with them. And what this teaches us is that even in our deepest, darkest, most personal moments of exile, we are never truly alone. The potential for return, for revealing our true selves, is always right there with us.
So now I'm going to turn this all back to you. If you were to look at your own pyramid, what is the one belief that sits at the very foundation of your life? Because really understanding that, well, that's the first step to making sure your soul is truly home.